In this session, we will talk about the importance of nodes and supernodes to every pioneer, and what are some examples of additional roles nodes can play on Pi network. Not only is Pi node the cornerstone of the Pi blockchain, but also it contributes to the ecosystem building and economic applications of Pi. For example, in addition to securing the ledger, supernodes can also technically support applications of decentralized finance, which is also known as DeFi. These applications are such as tokenization of real-world assets and tokenization of real estate. But today, we're going to discuss a little bit more on why the node software is important even in non-blockchain sense, and how Pi nodes and blockchain matter to pioneers who neither serve as supernodes nor as nodes. The original vision of the Pi node software was never just limited to operating and supporting the blockchain. Of course, the blockchain, as it secures the ledger of transactions, it is certainly the core and base layer of the decentralization of Pi network. But the benefits of building a user-friendly node software is having extensibility of the functionalities of the node and a large group of people who can contribute to the applications of the node software. So today we want to share a little bit more about the long-term strategy of the node software beyond securing the ledger. Let's look at the network currently. We have over 200,000 pioneers who downloaded and installed the Pi node software, and there are over 60,000 nodes active every day, out of which 40,000 appear to be actively managed, for example, updating to the latest version all the time. A portion of these nodes will become supernodes, depending on the selection process based on the hardware operating systems, network performance, and various metrics we have. But what is the core team's plan for the people who are running the Pi node software who are not necessarily supernodes or nodes responsible for maintaining the ledger? Actually, we have great expectations for them, and we are open to any suggestions that build on top of our thoughts. First of all, the desktop Pi application serves as a redundant interface for the mobile application interface. Not only does it provide desktop or laptop accessibility to the mobile application functionalities, for example, the chats, mining status, future uses of Pi applications, but it also serves as one important step to decentralization in regard to the centralized points of mobile apps stores. App stores have been one point of centralization in the Pi network ecosystem all along. Given the controversy about cryptocurrencies, app stores are particularly strict in reviewing applications related to cryptocurrencies. And we experienced their centralized control over the last couple of years while we were developing Pi network. For example, our mobile application had to go through very rigorous review cycles before it gets approved and later on to stay live. And we also saw other legitimate applications sometimes getting completely delisted from app stores for various reasons. We hope this will never happen to Pi, but shall the app stores decide to remove our application from their stores for any reason, the node software will be our backup plan to still maintain the functionalities, the community, and the organization of the network. By having our node software that contains the Pi application component, we de-risk the possibility of any potential failure in centralized app stores. Okay, apart from maintaining and securing the Pi blockchain, nodes can also allow individuals to share computing resources and get compensated for it. Such computing resources include processing power, disk space, and network bandwidth. Note that these are not our immediate plans, but they are all possibilities that will come further down the line. Let's look at these use cases one at a time. Disk space. Think of it as a decentralized encrypted Dropbox that allows people to get compensated for securely storing files. Its implementation can be similar to BitTorrent in the notion that files will be stored in a decentralized network of nodes, while at the same time, Pi can have staking mechanisms that can make sure that all files stored on the Pi network are fully licensed. For example, if a file is found to be infringing someone's rights, the file's uploader could lose their stake. To put this in perspective, as a use case, the core team pays thousands of dollars every month to Amazon AWS for storing the Pi node software files so that pioneers can download them and install the Pi node. In the same manner, other websites and applications do the same. So instead of these websites paying Amazon, they could be paying that cost to pioneers, using Pi of course, thus creating a passive income opportunity to Pi node operators. Let's look at network bandwidth. This use case is also known as content delivery networks, CDNs, and it is how the internet is able to scale today. For example, the Pi application, like any other app or website on the internet, contains both graphics, images, videos, and media, and it needs to ask the server individualized questions. For example, what is my Pi balance right now? So while the individualized questions must reach a Pi database to be answered, the vast majority of the graphics and media are the same for all members and can be actually answered by a decentralized server near that person. So, for example, when a pioneer in Paris opens her app, the Pi logo comes to her from a server in Paris operated by our CDN provider, while her balance comes from Pi's database in San Francisco. This process helps speed up the application tremendously because the majority of the data can be delivered fast from a nearby data center or computer, and they don't need to travel long distances through the Pacific Ocean. And that's something that all major apps on the internet do. They use CDN to deliver their content. Once again, to put this in perspective, the core team spends thousands of dollars a month to our CDN providers. But for Pi Network, with a distributed node network, there should be no need for such an intermediary CDN when there's tens of thousands of pioneer nodes in every corner of the world. There's probably a pioneer closer to you than any of the CDN servers. There may be one in the same building that you are right now. What if Pi nodes could utilize their unused network bandwidth to function as a decentralized CDN? If we were able to create such a CDN marketplace for pioneers, they could be receiving additional passive income for operating their nodes. Let's look at processing power. Every computer has one or more processors. These are called CPUs. And those CPUs are mostly unused during the day and completely unused during the night when the person is sleeping. Think of your processor more like your car. It is mostly sitting in your parking lot waiting for you to use it when you need it. At the same time, there are a lot of companies paying large monthly fees renting servers from cloud providers such as Amazon AWS. So potentially Pi Network could match those companies with pioneers who are interested in renting out their unused CPU time. According to our Pi node stats, every day there are over 380,000 CPU cores operated by Pi nodes, and they are unused about 69% of their time on average. Well, the good thing about sharing computing resources is that everyone could potentially participate in sharing them, even on a part-time basis. Moreover, due to the way we structured the Pi node software technically, these functionalities can be implemented as Docker containers on top of our node software, and therefore the development of such modules doesn't necessarily have to come from the core team. Okay, take these ideas I presented today as food for thought. Add your own creative ideas to it and come build the future together.